Hey there. So my next guest had an incredible background before he ended up in esports. And his goal is to just crush the esports space. It is clear what he's doing. It's really cool what he's doing because he's integrating SaaS services into esports. And it's something different than I've seen anybody else do, but that's not it. He's got so much going on. I know you all are going to love this one. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest with us. I have Andrew Bouley. Hey there, Andrew. How's it going?
It's going pretty great. It is a beautiful day.
I can feel you. I'm over in Las Vegas. How about yourself?
I am down in sunny Naples, Florida. It was actually 80 degrees most of the day around here.
I'm a little bit jealous. It only got up to 60 today here. But, the locals, they're wearing their earmuffs and gloves already still.
It's unreal. It drops like 1 degree around here, and I swear the parkas break out.
Right. A light breeze. Oh, a little chilly. All right. Andrew, I like getting the show just started right into it. So why don't you begin by just telling us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm kind of new into the world of esports and gaming full time. And so, I moved to Naples about 5 years ago. I was in food and beverage for a long time. I came down here and got into the software industry. Always a lifelong gamer. And now I've been able to make it my career, which you really can't ask for anything better, I don't think.
I love hearing that. And we'll get to talk all about that. First, I start every interview with a single question. So I'm going to ask you, just like I ask everybody else, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you, Andrew?
I'm pretty weird. I'm going to have to say, I'd like to say a 7, 5, 8.
Okay. And why is that?
Maybe even higher. Recently, I've had a bit of an obsession with Baby Yoda back there.
Grogu, he has a name.
I know, but of
course, did they ever gender him?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but they are all over our office now, in the conference rooms and the offices. There's socks. All the glass walls have big prints up on there as well, which is fantastic. I get a bit obsessed with things, and I think that makes me a little weirder than the norm.
It's not that bad. All right, Andrew, this is the Gamerpreneur podcast, so I do need your gaming cred. When did you first start playing video games?
When I was a kid, I would say I was probably about first grade or so. I think my first experience was with a Game Boy. This might add to my weirdness, but I remember I would sit and at like 7 or 8 in the morning before I'd go to school. My breakfast was a bowl of ramen noodles, chicken flavored, and I would play Metal Gear Solid or Pokemon actually.
Okay, are we talking the cup noodles or like the brick of noodles?
No, it was like the brick, and my mom would have to cut them up for me because I was a little kid, so you don't choke on the long noodles. It was bite-sized.
I love it. All right, and I'm assuming your love of gaming continued since then.
Oh yeah, it's only continued to grow, which is why I'm just so excited that I've been able to really get into this as a full-time career. When I was in college, I actually worked for GameStop as well, and so I spent a lot of time just around games.
Okay, and what do you play today, if anything?
Well, it's funny. I always like to call myself a gamer, but I've been reduced. I don't play as much as I would like to. I will say I am still a very avid Pokemon player to this day, just because of how much love I've had for it. I will say, though, when Cyberpunk released not too long ago, I logged, I think it was 90 hours in about that 4 or 5 day weekend. So I really went in hard there.
I can appreciate, the reduced amount of time to play. I actually have to have permission from my spouse to be able to play. So it's just, all right. If you had to pick one game, Andrew, that's your all-time favorite, which one is it?
You know what? I'm going to stick with my tried and true there. As special as it might sound, Pokemon has always been really special to me.
Which one? Come on. There's been a billion of them.
I mean, it's hard. I like the classics, though. And I say classics, I mean, I really like Red and Blue from back in the day. And, I'm actually really excited about the new Pokemon Snap. I really enjoyed the first one.
The first one was incredible, right? I was always waiting for that HD remake, and they're like, a new one. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. All right, so let's get over to the preneur part. That's enough gaming for now. Andrew, why don't you go ahead and give me a little bit about your professional background and tell me how you got to where you're at today?
Yeah, of course. I like to consider myself a full-time student. I started college getting a degree in sociology, and then I went up and I got a degree in media design. So I got my master's. I continued with the Master of Business, and now I'm getting my doctorate in business right now, just to kind of really round myself out the best way possible. And that complemented my work career as well. Like I said, I started at GameStop. I ended up working for Apple for a period of time. Then, I really got into food and beverage, and I opened new restaurants for a living. And so I traveled around the country and opened restaurants, which was a blast. And it brought me down to Naples, Florida. And while I was working in a restaurant, get ready for this one, I was doing the limbo, and I ripped my Achilles tendon in half. I saw how low I could go, and it did not end well.
You're like, wait, I can go lower.
So I ended up being out of work for a little while when that happened, and I found this software company. And so I came and started working at a place called Cateree Software, Horizon Business Services, and I worked my way up in the company to a vice president. I got to learn SaaS products. I design and build software, and when COVID rolled around and the world kind of changed, we build food and beverage software. So I actually launched a new organization out of the closet in my home called Aquatik Esports. And it started growing like crazy. I brought it to my current place of employment, and now it is blowing up. And I was just recently named president of the organization, and we are pushing that really hard. And it's been a really exciting opportunity. And now we're on the software side there as well. So it's going from all sides.
I love it. You just threw a bunch at me. You threw SaaS products and through food and beverage. I'm saying, like, how do you do SaaS with food and beverage? And now esports in there. Like, what don't you do? All right. How about this? What is it that you do today?
Yeah. So I run Aquatik at this current point. So Aquatik is our mission is esports for everyone, right? And there's been so many streamers. I know I've tried to be a streamer myself. I've seen a lot of friends that have struggled with it. And our goal was we really wanted to help people stream, to help people play in tournaments, to help people make a name for themselves. And so Aquatik was born. We run tournaments on a weekly basis, allowing anyone of any skill set or age to play in our community mashups and make money. So I oversee that process. We're also building some really amazing esports and gaming software where I designed that. I put things into place. And then we also have like a foundation branch. We recently just partnered actually with the Special Olympics. And so I've been doing some work on that side as well to help push their goal and their 2022 USA Games. So all sorts of great things.
I'm loving it. I'm actually going to have somebody from the Special Olympics on in the next week or two. So that's fantastic. Okay, that's great. Your background is not esports. It sounds like your background is mostly all kinds of different businesses. So let me ask you, what is it that you've brought forward with you into this esports world that you don't necessarily see in the other areas of esports?
Yeah, I think for us, it's the growth side of people, right? Like my whole career, I've spent growing individuals and training them into new positions in business. And so we're approaching esports now as all of these different growth opportunities. And so we've brought on a bunch of staff that are looking for small streamers, that are looking for gamers. And our goal is to outfit them. And so we've actually opened a whole marketing wing. That's whole job is we build logos for people. We build out, we bought microphones for people. There's cameras. And so we're empowering people, and we're not doing that with any charge to them. That's all comped by us. And so I think that's the exciting part about us is we're empowering people to take their own businesses to the next level. And that's kind of what we love to do.
Okay, beautiful. Now, so you're focused more on the media side of it as opposed to the sports side of it then?
Yeah, we built a state-of-the-art studio actually in our office. So we have a big, beautiful office here in Naples, Florida, which I'm sitting in now. And we built a big broadcast studio. And so we host these tournaments and show them off to the world every week. We actually just partnered and we're doing what's called the Big Time Conference featuring Valorant. We have all 14 of the Big 10 colleges participating. And we partnered up with Corsair on that one. And it's been totally awesome giving all these college students a way to show off their Valorant skills.
All right. What is the most interesting aspect of creating this organization, the esports organization, specifically Aquatik? Because like you said, you've had all these different businesses and each is unique. Restaurants are totally different than anything else. I've advised, I have not touched it myself, but I know how different they can be. What is the most unique thing you found here?
Just how much this industry changes, right? There's so much to watch. And it seems like every day there's a new trend, there's a new game that's pushing, there's a new concept that people want to do. I mean, whether it's the trending social media, is it Instagram, is it TikTok, is it on Facebook gaming, and there was Mixer, and there wasn't Mixer, there was Among Us, there's Fall Guys, there's Fortnite. And so there's everything changing on such a daily basis that it's had my whole team trying to become incredibly agile to work with it. And it's awesome.
Okay. How does your organization make money? Like, I think that's the number one question I've heard from everybody in esports is does anybody make money other than giant donors?
Yeah, so right now we're in the spending money business and putting a lot into growing out this space. We've had some really great partners and some brand activations, but we invest a lot of that back into the tournaments and into our people. I mean, at the end of the day, we are building software, right? We're a SaaS software company that's focused on the esports space. And so our money is, we're working with big business. We believe that we should empower the people, right? Gamers come from all walks of life, and sometimes they can't afford to participate in all these great places. And so we'd rather work with the businesses to empower the people to be able to participate. And then the businesses get great options and a great place to advertise.
Okay. I love SaaS because it makes a lot of money. How did you integrate it into esports? What exactly is your product?
Yeah, so we're actually going into beta in just about a month. We're really excited about it. It's called Control. And so it is a platform that allows people to host tournaments. There's some live streaming, there's video on demand. We call it a platform, right? Because you can actually bring in some of your other posts from Instagram or Twitch or YouTube, host everything in one place. We grab all the analytics and allow you to partner with businesses for sponsorships or for influencer campaigns. We actually just built in one-click streaming, which is really cool. So if you don't already have an audience on another platform, with a click of a button, it captures your camera, your screen, and your microphone, and boom, you're off and running without OBS, without anything else. And hey, you can even do it with your cell phone. So if you're playing a mobile game, or if you just want to grab yourself there, you're up and running.
Wonderful. You are coming at esports from a totally different angle than from a lot of other people I've met. What makes you different or unique or special that if someone were want to follow in your footsteps, they could try to emulate those characteristics?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to be the big leagues. Everyone wants to be the next FaZe Clan, the next Cloud9. And don't get me wrong, those people need to exist. What we want to do, though, is, again, there's so many people out there that want their chance to shine and, that are just as good and work just as hard as some of these pro players. And so I think embracing the everyday gamer is so important. And that's always been our mantra. And I think if other people want to do that, it's what they should do. And I'm always happy to talk to people and to help them find new individuals to join their groups. And I think that's why we've seen so much growth, is because that's our passion and it's what we do well.
I love that sentiment. That's like the purpose of my show, is to focus on gamers rather than this business of gaming and business of esports. I love it. Okay. If you could go back in time, so you've been a gamer your whole life, like you said. If you could go back in time to, we'll say when you first started your first degree, because you've got so many of them. I don't want to pick a point in the middle, right? Go back to when you first started, and you could walk up to yourself back then, and you can kind of explain everything that's going to happen and all the wonderful joys and all the lows and everything in between. But there's one thing you had to make sure your past self knew in order to be able to make it all bigger, better, faster, more profitable. What would you tell yourself?
It's about the long game, right? I think so many people look at the right now, whether it's how many viewers is my stream getting now, whether it's how much money am I making now. But every connection that I've made in life has come back in some way or another. I mean, previous bosses have led me to my next job, or connections have led me to find someone new, or, a past skill that I thought I would never use has come into such amazing play now. So don't always be focused on what's happening this second, but have a plan and know that if you focus on that end goal, that you're going to get there no matter the path.
Okay, wonderful. Where do you think it's heading then? Where's esports going? Because if you're looking at the long game, you should have already thought this through.
I think esports is becoming a lot more mainstream, right? I mean, you see that big brands are starting to activate there. Your non-endemic marketing brands are getting into that space. Mobile gaming is becoming incredibly popular. I was actually just reading a statistic that, in July of 2020, the top 5 streamed tournaments, 4 of them were mobile games. And so I think, again, that's so powerful because so many people have access to, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, or a tablet that they can just pick up and dive right in. And so I really honestly do think that gaming is going to continue to spread, and it's going to be mobile. It's going to be everywhere, especially with things like Stadia and xCloud, right? And even Amazon with Luna allowing you to play full-scale games from a mobile device. It's amazing.
Okay, wonderful. Now, I want to get a little personal if I can, Andrew.
Of course.
Okay. So you see, I believe we learn the most in our life from our failures, not necessarily our successes. Because when you succeed, you may not know what happened, right? You just like, oh, hey, cool, I did it. But when you fail, you got to take a look at it. You got to be able to examine it and move past it in order to succeed the next time or however many times it takes after. So I'd like to ask you, what do you consider your biggest failure in life? And what did you learn from it?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's being too focused forward and not opening up those blinders. Funnily enough, when I was in college, I'll never forget, one of my professors, who was my advisor at the time, said, Andrew, can you be a college student and party and have fun? Like, all you do is work. You're late to my class all the time, not because you were drunk, but literally because you've been working. Like, dude, have fun. And I think it's caused me to miss a lot of opportunity in the world. I know I had an opportunity to go to Antarctica a few years back for a really cool kind of open position, but I was so focused on the career that I had at the time that I passed it up. And that career, now that I said this is my end all be all, disappeared, and I'm nowhere even in that industry anymore. And I regret every day not taking that opportunity to go to Antarctica. So I mean, I think sometimes we have to kind of let life take its whirls, open up your blinders, and then move forward with it.
Man, who are you? Your life sounds so cool.
It's something.
All right. Kind of on the flip side of that failure question, what is something that you're working to improve on yourself today?
Yeah, I think it's my ability to comprehend and listen. I get so busy. It's similar, right? So I get so busy and I get so focused, and the people around us sometimes have really great ideas, but we get so caught up in our own daily life that sometimes we miss over those opportunities. And I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a Discord that has 25,000 people in it that are always giving me great ideas and that are trying to get to us. And I don't think that my team always takes enough time to sit back, relax, and read this impact from our community and make sure that we're making the right decisions based on the people and not just our own needs.
Okay. Since this is a business show, not necessarily a gaming show, what specific angle of business do you think esports is currently lacking that it will be developing over the next couple of years?
I think it's a business plan. There's just a lot going on, right?
They're just going for it, right?
Esports is trying to be everywhere. I mean, there's like marketing dollars flying, there's like sponsorship, there's like professional sports winnings. And I think it's hard because there's no direction, right? I know that's kind of a broad answer, but at the same time, I've talked to people every day that they're like, I don't know what to do in esports. Like, I want to be in this industry, but I don't know where to start. I don't know where I'm supposed to get a degree in. I don't know what job I should apply for first. I just think there's no direction in this space. And I think that business plan is coming and that mold is going to be made. And that's when this industry grows much faster.
I love that answer. It truly is. Spin the wheel where it stops. You could do that in esports, right?
Literally.
All right. One more fun question before I start bringing this in for a landing. All right, Andrew. What is something that you think people misunderstand about you the first time they meet you?
That one's getting me there for a minute. I skimmed that one. I think, it's the answer here, I think, is that we're trying to help, right? And that a lot of people look at me as the businessman, And I think people have become so guarded, over the years, and they look at social media, and if they see a business, we do giveaways all the time, right? We're always giving away product, and I love doing that. And I think, a lot of times we hear that it's a scam or that we're out to get somebody because everyone's assuming nothing's for free in this world, right? And that there aren't people that are actually trying to help other people be successful. And I think that's the misunderstanding, is that I'm the businessman, so there's going to be something that I'm trying to get out of them, when right now all we want to do is grow this space, because if the space grows, it benefits everybody.
Okay, I got one more question. Sorry, I was joking on that last one. That point you just made, that's why I have this question. Do you think traditional methods of marketing will work in this space, or is it we have to invent something new in esports?
Yeah, I actually just read a report today that Activision had run a consumer survey saying that esports consumers are willing to spend, more money than your typical advertising dollars actually work better on them. And so I do think there's an opportunity, but we as gamers in this space need to make ourselves stand out and say that we're just as important as your normal sports fan or your crime reality TV show fans. I think gamers get a stigma around us a lot. And so in order for all of these methods to work, we have to make sure that we adapt to the rest of the world and show look, we're just as impactful to this community as anybody else is. And once you can do that, and once you can bring on those non-endemics to really trust what we're doing, I think that's when that impact is going to be made.
I love that point. I hear so often that gamers are broke. No, they don't have any money. How are we going to sell to them? Gamers are like crackheads. They will always have money for that next game. I don't know where it comes from, but they always have it, right? Well, if they have that money, they probably have other money too.
100%. Some of the gamers I know have more money than anybody I've ever met.
Andrew, this has been a fantastic interview. You are one of the fastest talkers I've ever met. How do people follow you? How do they find you? Where's your contact information? All that, please.
I've always thought about being what are they, the auctioneers, to really get that out there real quick. I'm here in Naples, Florida all the time. If you head to aquatik.org or aquatikesports.com, you can actually find our office. We've built a whole bunch of creator studios in our space. If anybody ever wants to come, they can stream, they can game. We built a big room with Gigabyte with all sorts of Xbox Series X and PS5s and cool gaming computers. They can come to Naples, Florida and visit. Of course, my LinkedIn, I'm real easy to find on there as well. And I love talking there as well.
Beautiful. All right, as we wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts you want to share, or anything I didn't ask you think we still need to cover?
The last thing I'll say, and then I'll turn it back over to you, is just, I think a lot of people are still trying to find their way in esports. And I guess what I can say to them is there's something here, right? This is an amazing booming industry that is growing at a rate that is literally unprecedented. And if you want it, just go for it, right? And I think so many people come to me and they say, how do you get into esports? Network. Send out messages, connect. Don't be afraid to approach someone and say, what can I do to get into this industry? There's so many people that are willing to let you help. This is one of the most positive, caring, and sharing industries I've ever met. And out of all the other business leaders that I've met, the other founders and startup owners, right? They're all so willing to tell you their ideas and share their business plans and tell you what they're doing. So I just say to everyone in this space, don't be afraid to ask. And there's something really amazing here. It's right on the precipice of doing something awesome. 100%
agree with you. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on. I genuinely do appreciate this. This was a wonderful interview.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a blast. Thank you for having me. It was great.
Sure thing. And for everybody else, I'm going to remind you all, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.